I think I need not say much. Much has been said by Prof and the SG. And mine really is to say, we as PDT, we as CTO, what does this say to us in terms of change? How is this going to benefit us going forward, more especially this conference? I think it will be important that there are some lessons for us. We have an organization that there are a lot of things that we want to change. Basically, from the program that we are talking about yesterday, and the organization at large. When you're talking about this theme of adapting, innovating, and evolving, we need to bring it home. We need to bring it to ourselves as CTO and our capacity building program that we are talking about. And I think firstly, let me just thank the University of Middlesex for the kind gesture of extending this to us as an organization, as CTO, and more especially as PDT, as I said, that I think it will be something that we are going to benefit from, not only today, maybe going forward, as an arrangement that can benefit us. When you talk to this theme of adapting, innovating, and evolving, as I said, we need to bring it home to ourselves. We know that there are organizations that resisted change previously in the past. I need not mention organizations, a lot of them you know, and every organization that failed to live up to this theme ended up going down under. And we want to go down under as an organization, as the capacity building program that you're talking about as CTO. I don't think so. Organizations, as you'll be aware, that resisted change. We have Kodak, we have Nokia, we have Xerox, BlackBerry, Blockbuster, you can mention so many, which resisted change, did not adapt, did not innovate, did not evolve. They ended up going down under. So I don't think really we as the organization, that's the direction that we want to take. As I said, the question then is, what are we doing as a CTO? Most importantly, what are we doing as PDT members? Are we adapting and innovating and evolving? The likelihood is that if we do not live up to this theme, we will also eventually go down under, just like other organizations that fail to live up to this theme. Colleagues, I need to quote from H.G. Wells, who wrote in 1945 that it is either we adapt or perish, now as ever. It's nature's inexorable imperative. If you don't adapt, the likelihood is that you will perish. The world is forever changing, and is requiring those who do not wish to be left behind to change. So it's a choice, because change is inevitable, as we had the SG saying earlier. So we need to be thinking carefully about these things. Sometimes when you refuse to change, it is forced upon you that you change. I think the COVID pandemic has evidently demonstrated to us that change can be forced if one is resistant to it. And in the process, there'll be casualties, as you know, and collaterals, as you know, if you resist change. And the change that is forced is a very difficult one. It's got all these things that we have seen that came from COVID. So let us then not wait for forced change that always comes with casualties. Let us forever reinvent ourselves. Colleagues, gone are the days when statements like, why should I reinvent the wheel? I think sometimes we've heard statements like that. why should I reinvent the wheel? Why fix it if it is not broken? Gone are the days when these used to apply. They're not relevant anymore, such statement, because change will be forced upon you if you're saying, why fix it if it's not broken? Or you are saying, why should I reinvent the wheel? Wheels have to be reinvented now. It is evident that we are living in an era where it is necessary to reinvent the wheel. You don't wait. If you wait, it's going to be reinvented for you and you'll be left behind. And it is also important to fix things when they are not broken. You don't just have to wait for something to break and you say, because it's broken, now I'm going to fix it. You don't do that. Other people keep on changing even when things don't have to be changed, because you have to keep up all the time. So these are all statements that I was mentioning that are no longer relevant in the era that we live in today. I was talking to my colleagues in our PDT liaison officers meeting yesterday, that nobody will come from anywhere and build PDT for us. When we, its owners, I want to say, we own PDT, colleagues. It's ours. I know sometimes we tend to say we are members. I don't look at us as members per se, but as owning that organization. And as I said, nobody can really do anything to change it for us. It is either we make the program work or it is going to perish, as we had the scholar that I quoted from saying, it's either you adapt or you perish. Things have changed, and as PDT members, it is incumbent upon us to ensure that we adapt, we innovate, and we evolve the PDT program. I'm glad that during our discussions yesterday from our meeting, the winds of change had entirely started to revamp the program and make it relevant to new ways of doing things. That on its own is a sign that the current program is probably no longer relevant, and therefore it is good that we are making an initiative, lest we are forced by circumstances to change, and we don't want to be forced to change, and we are doing something about it. I'm optimistic that the new capacity building initiative, which we call the Successor Program, will go a long way in ensuring that capacity building at CTO remains relevant and we do not disappear into thin air as it has previously been the case with other organizations that I talked to. And that we will embrace the change and see to it that we don't fail when it comes to innovating and evolving. In conclusion, let me wish you a fruitful 2022 HR and ICT Forum. Encourage you all to make the best out of it, adopt learning experiences from it, and have takeaways of things that you can use to change our work environments and transform the way that we think for the better going forward.